will be reading The Mitten by Jan Brett, published by Penguin Young Readers Group. Once there was a boy named Nicky who wanted his new mittens made from wool as white as snow. At first, his grandmother, Bubba, did not want knit white mittens. If you drop one on the snow, she warned, you'll never find it. But Nicky wanted snow white mittens, and finally, Bubba made them. After she finished, she said, "When you come home, first I will look to see if you are safe and sound, but then I will look to see if you still have your snow white mittens." So off Nicky went, and it wasn't long until one of his new mittens dropped in the snow and was left behind. A mole, tired from tunneling all day, discovered the mitten and burrowed itself inside. It was cozy and warm and just the right size, so he decided to stay. A snowshoe rabbit came hopping by. He stopped for a moment to admire his winter coat. It was then that he saw the mitten and wiggled in, feet first. The mole didn't think there was room for both of them, but when he saw the rabbit's big kickers, he moved over. Next, a hedgehog sniffling along, having spent the day looking under wet leaves for things to eat, he decided to move into the mitten and warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and jostled, but not being ones to argue with someone covered with prickles, they made room. As soon as the hedgehog disappeared into the mitten, a big owl, attracted by the commotion, swooped in. When he decided to move in also, the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog grumbled, but when they saw the owl's glinty tail ends, they quickly let him in. Up through the snow appeared a badger. He eyed the mitten and begged to climb in. The mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, and the owl were not pleased. There was no room left, but when they saw his diggers, they gave him the thumb. It started snowing, but the animals were snug in their mitten. A waft of warm steam rose in the air, and a fox trotting by stopped in to investigate. Just the sight of the cozy mitten made him feel drowsy. The fox poked his muzzle in. When the mole, the rabbit, the hedgehog, the owl, and the badger saw his shiny teeth, they gave the fox lots of room. A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten, all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he begged.
Linda will edit it.
Okay.
Go from the start if you want.
Of his page?
Yeah.
He begging to his nose his way in?
You don't know it?
He began.
He began.
I laugh so bad. Okay.
You're tired.
I am tired.
Go from the beginning of this page. Okay, she's starting again right now.
Right now. A great bear lumbered by. He spied the mitten, all plumped up. Not being one to be left out in the cold, he began to nose his way in. The animals were packed in as tightly as could be, but what animal would argue with a bear? The mitten swelled and stretched. It was pulled and bulged too many times its size, but Bubba's good knitting held fast. Along came a meadow mouse, no bigger than an acorn. She wiggled into one space left and made herself comfortable on top of the great bear's nose. The bear, tickled by the mouse whiskers, gave an enormous sneeze. Achoo! The force of the sneeze shot the mitten up into the sky and scattered the animals in all directions. On his way home, Nicky saw a white shape in the distance. It was his lost mitten against the blue sky. As he ran to catch his snow-white mitten, he saw Bubba's face in the window. First she looked to see if he was safe and sound, and then she saw that he still had his new white mittens.